To create the bounce off walls mechanic, we're not going to be using any programming at all. We're instead going to be using a physics material. We can go to our project folder and right-click, go to Create, and to Physics Material 2D. We're going to call this Bounce. Physics materials allow us to create a new material that isn't visual that we apply to our rigid body that has different effects. So as you'll see on the right, our bounce material, we can control the friction or the bounciness. For this example, we don't need any friction, so we'll set this to 0. And our bounciness will set to 1. Anything below 1 and above 0 means that we'll slowly lose our power every time we bounce. So if we set it to 0.5, our player will bounce half the height every time until it eventually stops. If we set it to 1, then the player will bounce the same height every time, keeping its momentum. If we set it above 1, the bounce will get more powerful each time. So we need to make sure that we're choosing a careful balance to make sure that the game is still playable and enjoyable. We now need to select our player. And in your rigid body 2D, you'll see the material option, and it says here that it's got nothing in it, but it is looking for a physics material 2D. So we can click and drag bounce into here. And now if we play the game, you'll notice that our player just bounces away. We can still move, and we can still jump when we hit the ground, but we bounce continuously. Now this can be applied to any object, so you can be a little bit experimental with how you're applying it and what you use it for in game.